Welcome back to the FCS Football Channel, and we are back with the match preview. No, watch long. Sorry, it's the watch long for the Manchester United versus Spurs game here in the Premier League. Big game for Manchester United. An opportunity to go back third in the league. Obviously, Newcastle play at the same time as us. Well, they've already kicked off, I believe, in their game against Everton. But that doesn't matter because Manchester United will win, Everton will sneak a result, and United will go back third in the league. When it comes to lineups, as you can see, this is how Manchester United line up. It is the same lineup as we did against Brighton in the FA Cup semi-final, aside from the fact that Jadon Sancho starts over Anthony Martial. So the lineup is thus: it's David De Gea in goal. It's a back four of Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Victor Lindelof and Luke Shaw plays the two centre halves with Diogo Dalot as a left back. Casemiro and Christian Eriksen make up the midfield double pivot with Bruno Fernandes, who there was rumours that he would be injured for this game and wouldn't be able to play. He is in the starting 11 that continues his run of never missing a Manchester United game or never missing a game of football in his professional career due to injury. Which is just, it's quite the remarkable achievement, to say the very, very least. Anthony starts on the right, and Marcus Rashford, he leads the line for Manchester United today. For Spurs, Hugo Lloris continues to miss out due to injury, so it is Fraser Forster in goal. It's a back three, consisting of Christian Romero, Eric Dyer, Clement Longley, Pedro Porro and Ivan Perisic starts as your two wing-backs, with Oliver Skipp and Højbjerg as a midfield double pivot, with your front three of Harry Kane, Heung-min Son and Richarlison. So Dejan Kulusevski makes the bench, but doesn't start over Richarlison, who is still yet to score in the Premier League this season for Spurs. Not the greatest of records, especially given that he cost them 60 million quid. But who knows what will happen today? Maybe he will start bagging the goals that Spurs need him to score if they want to get into the top four come the end of the season. Because at the moment, you've got to say, if you're looking at that league table, as it annoyingly disappears, it's not looking good for Spurs. Liverpool are now above them. And their poor season has been well documented this season. They are now above them. Aston Villa, above them. Spurs are in a dangerous position. They've just sacked their second manager in Christian Stellini. They're a mess. Spurs. They're an absolute mess. Right. So obviously, we are going to be covering the Manchester United game today. Obviously, that's, as you can see, we're a Man United channel. But we will keep an eye on the other games around the Premier League today, which is Everton, Newcastle and Southampton and Bournemouth. Southampton and Bournemouth, that is a huge game in the relegation battle. Bloody hell. I didn't realise they were playing today. That is huge. You look at the relegation zone. If Bournemouth win that, you'd argue they're safe. Whereas if Southampton win it, Bournemouth are still in and around that relegation zone. And Southampton would still be bottom. So, huge games. So starting lineups for Everton and Newcastle. I'll quickly get those up. So it's Pickford in goal, Godfrey, Keane, Tarkowski and Myelenko. Doucouré, Adrissa-Gay and Onana as midfield three with Iwobi, Calvert-Lewin and McNeil. For Newcastle, it's Pope in goal, Trippier, Shah, Botman and Target. as a back four. So Dan Burn drops out to the bench. Or is he suspended or injured? Onto the bench. Guimaraes, Willock and Longstaff as a midfield three with Joel Linton, Callum Wilson and Miguel Almiron. Isaac drops to the bench, as does Jacob Murphy. For Southampton and Bournemouth. So for Southampton and Bournemouth, for Southampton, it is McCarthy and goal. So Bazunu's been dropped. That is interesting. Bazunu's dropped for McCarthy. Walker, Peters, Bednarak, Saleta Carr and Perraud make up a back four. Elianissi, Ward-Prowse, Roman Levi and Armstrong make up a midfield four with Theo Walcott and Alcaraz as the two strikers. For Bournemouth, it's Neto in goal. Sensi, Mepham and Kelly make up a back three. Tavernier and Vina as your two wing-backs with Lerma and Rothwell as a midfield double pivot with Belling, Christie and Solanke as a front three for the Cherries. We are 7 minutes away from kickoff. If you guys want to get your predictions for this game into the live chat, please feel free. Obviously, I've gone for a 2-0 Man United win. I think we're the better team, so I'm confident in our ability to put Spurs to the sword. They got absolutely annihilated in their last game. Absolutely annihilated. 6-1 to Newcastle. I expect a better performance from Spurs. Obviously, we're not going to go beat them. What's the score? Whatever the score. 6-1. But I expect a big win. A big win, I expect. Or a good win. Or at least a win. There we go. Hold on. There we go. That's audio-wise, that should be better. I don't know why it just turned itself off yesterday. There we go. I'm ill. I am ill. So if I'm a bit snotty or whatever, I do apologise. I'm good, Eddie. How are you, mate? How are you? You are right. It has been a while. I've been so busy with uni and stuff, but I've got some time at the moment. Things are going well, so we're back with the streams. What's your prediction for the game, lad? The players are warming up, ready to come out. There's Harry Kane. "4-2. Oh, Eddie, I hope we see a 4-2. If we get a 4-2 tonight, a 4-2 United win, oh, I'll be going bonkers in this room. What a day that will be. This will be. Right. There we go. So quite interestingly, I think if you're looking at the team today, and it's the exact same. It's the exact same squad as when we took to the FA Cup final, the semi-final. Sorry, which means no Harry Maguire. How do you watch the match? It's on BT Sports in the UK, or at least in England. I don't know what it's on in other countries or regions. The best way, or at least in the UK, the best way to find out what games are on TV and where is if you. And I'm pretty sure it happens everywhere because when I was in America, it was like this as well. If you go to the Premier League website or the Fantasy Premier League website, you go to fixtures. It says where the games are being played. Obviously, as you can see there, this game week, every single game is on BT Sport, and there you can see every single game is on BT Sport. Again, for next week, you got BT Sport. You got the early kickoff. Man United, Aston Villa, not on TV, and all the games on Sky. Again, Man United, West Ham, BT Sport, but Sky, all the Sky. So that's the best way to work it. If you don't know, if you didn't know that, now you know. You're welcome. That's the screen I want. We can win it. Yes, obviously we've beaten. What's the name? Man City before this season. We beat them 2-1 at Old Trafford. We can beat them at Wembley. It's going to be very difficult though. I think we all saw. If you watched the game yesterday, obviously we did a stream on this channel for it. If you watched that game, you would have seen how good Manchester City are. They're clicking into gear at the right moment. So it will be hard to win, but Manchester United have to win it because that could be our only chance of defending our treble. Is Ryan Mason wearing a Primark jumper? Oh, I'm pretty sure he is. I'm pretty sure he's wearing the same jumper I am. Fair play, Ryan. So, kick-off about to take place. And away we go. In this game, Manchester United versus Spurs is underway. Newcastle have taken the lead in their game against Everton. Callum Wilson with the goal. So it's 1-0 to Newcastle. There we go. So timers all synced up. So if you want to sync up your game timer with mine, that is the best way to watch these streams. So when you see Christian Eriksen pass to Bruno Fernandes, who loses the Højbjerg, and now Richarlison pick it up, so will I. Luke Shaw has it. Drives past Heung-min Son. Looks for Sancho. Gets caught up under it. And Shaw wins a free kick, surely? He does. Well played, Luke Shaw. Interestingly, it looks like Richarlison might be off the left and Son off the right. I'll see how it develops. But right now, Heung-min Son is certainly playing off the right and Richarlison off the left, which is it's a strange approach given Son is a much better left winger than Richarlison. Perisic wins the first ball. Casemiro picks it up. Finds Eriksen. Moves it back into Luke Shaw. Out to Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Goes down the line to Anthony. Moves it back into Wan-Bissaka. United just needs to keep the ball. Look, Spurs have a point to prove in a sense today. They got embarrassed, humiliated in their last game. In their last game against Newcastle. So they're going to start well here. They know they've got a point to prove. They know they've got almost, they've got to apologise in a sense to their fans for what was a horrific performance and display and really a lack of effort against Newcastle in that opening 20 minutes where they conceded, was it 4 or 5 in the opening 20 minutes? So Spurs are going to start strong here. So for United, it's about being smart, not overcommitting too much. And if Spurs overcommit, taking our chances when they come. Wan-Bissaka is world class. I've always been a big fan of Wan-Bissaka. And I've always said Wan-Bissaka going forward isn't as bad as a lot of people make it out to be. And dribbling wise, he's quite good. He just never used to do it. He's starting to do it more. And he has improved. There's no doubt about that. But I don't think he's improved as much as a lot of people think. I think he was always just this good. He's just showing it more often now. As Anthony chases Fraser Forster, who goes long, looking for Richarlison. Richarlison, good header down into Ivan Perisic. Højbjerg. Lovely ball through to Heung-min Son here. Puts it across. Good defending from Victor Lindelof. Very, very good. Heung-min Son looked to play it to the edge of the box. Lindelof just got his heel to it. And here comes Rashford. Cross-field ball to Anthony. Takes it down really well. Bruno Fernandes is there. Wan-Bissaka's then going to provide the overlap. Nice play with Bruno. Wan-Bissaka now finds Anthony. Dodgy first touch, but we still have it. Poor pass looking for Casemiro. And here comes Harry Kane. He does really well there, Harry Kane. And here's Longley. Goes back into Fraser Forster. And Spurs can reset. Score still 0-0. As to reiterate, in the other games being played at the moment, both in the 35th minute. They started at 7:45. It's Everton 0, Newcastle 1 at Goodison Park, and at St Mary's it's Southampton 0, Bournemouth 0. Here comes Pedro Porro for Spurs. Sancho and Diogo Dalot, good work defensively there, and United deal with it just about. We're looking to try and play it from the back here. Here's Christian Eriksen to Sancho. Poor pass. Looks like Sancho could have done a little bit more to keep that alive. Here's Christian Romero. Goes back into Eric Dyer. The long ball looking for Luke Shaw, who brings it down very easily. And United have the ball. I mean, I don't know who that ball was actually for from Dyer, but Luke Shaw just was the only one near it. Luke Shaw will walk it out. Here is Dalot. Lindelof. Marcus Rashford turns really well. Oliver skips. Can't stop him. Here is Rashford. Out to Sancho. Jadon Sancho. Cuts inside. Shoots. Scores! Jadon Sancho with the goal. What block. I'm dying. But Manchester United have a lead, and it's Jadon Sancho It's a great hit. It's a great goal. And it's not the start Spurs would have wanted. 6.5 minutes in. Jadon Sancho with the goal. 1-0 Manchester United. And it's not the start Spurs needed. It's the perfect start for Manchester United. And Sancho makes it 1-0 for Manchester United. He cuts inside Eriksen with the overlap to create the space inside for him. Marcus Rashford did really well. He found Sancho. Pedro Porro, poor defending. But it's a great finish from Jadon Sancho. Just whips it into that far post. Uses Christian Romero as kind of a guide to knock it round and to find that back post. 1-0 Manchester United, and Spurs are they're in a mess. They are in a mess. Richarlison done well here up against Lindelof and Wan-Bissaka. Perisic drives it across. No Spurs players can pick it up though. Decent there from Spurs. They're looking dangerous, Spurs. But Manchester United off to the perfect start. And Spurs look a little bit shell-shocked. I don't think Spurs have started well. In a game which they've got so much to prove after a horrific start against Newcastle, to concede again so early on, it's not a good look, is it? It's really not. And now, can we get a few more? That's the question. Lindelof. Anthony. Poor pass from Anthony. Heung-min Son. Perisic. Goes back to Clement Longley. Dyer. Long ball, looking for Richarlison. Wan-Bissaka up against Richarlison does well. Casemiro won the first challenge, but is offside. So it doesn't matter anyway. Richarlison up against Wan-Bissaka. Maybe that's why we're seeing Heung-min Son operate off of the right. Just try and kind of keep Son away from Wan-Bissaka. And hoping that Wan-Bissaka, it'll probably lock up Richarlison. But that's fine, because it would then allow Heung-min Son to be more influential in this game. I mean, I don't know how good of an idea it is, but that might be the thinking behind it. I'll tell you what. Ryan Mason. It's not a great start, is it? Not a great start. De Gea goes long. Bruno doesn't beat Højbjerg in the air. Rashford picks it up though after a poor header from, I think it was Perisic. Here is Anthony. Bruno. I was going to call him De Bruyne. Anthony. Rashford. Back to Bruno. Casemiro. Across to Luke Shaw. Dallow's there. Luke Shaw goes into Diego Dallo. Dallo looks for Sancho. Good defending from, I think it was Pedro Porro. But Dallo wins it back. Finds Jadon Sancho. 10 minutes in. Only 1-0 for Man United. It's a slow start compared to Newcastle. But it's not a bad start, is it? Here's Casemiro. Moves it out wide to Anthony. Wan-Bissaka's very high here. Luke Shaw goes long looking for Anthony. Perisic heads it away, but Anthony will pick it up still. Here is Casemiro. Looks for Rashford. Rashford finds Wan-Bissaka, but it's a foul on Marcus Rashford. Free kick to United. Too far away really to do anything, and too central to do something as well. Not an ideal position for a free kick, but Marcus Rashford can hit one from here. We've seen it before. If he does, it'll have to be some effort to do it, but he's done it before. He's done it before. I think Rashford's going to hit it, you know. Yeah, Rashford's going to hit it. Go on then. Go on then, Marcus. He's going to go for his knuckleball. Here is Rashford. Just wide. Not a bad effort. He went for the bottom corner. I think Forster probably always had it covered. It's not a bad effort, you know. It's not a bad effort. Bounces just in front of the keeper, where you kind of want that to bounce, and it is just wide. It's not a bad effort, but it is wide. Forster goes long. Wan-Bissaka wins it. Rashford chests it down, but only to Harry Kane. Son flicks it over the top. Here is Richarlison, 1v1 with Victor Lindelof. Cuts inside, shoots. David De Gea gets behind it. Luke Shaw appeals for offside, and I think it would have been, but it is a good save by David De Gea nonetheless. Yeah, he's miles off Richarlison. I thought he was. Easy, comfortable save from David De Gea. Dalot finds Marcus Rashford now. Here comes United again. Rashford just inside the Spurs half. Finds Anthony. Casemiro puts the ball into the box. Christian Romero heads clear. Eriksen, edge of the box. Finds Anthony. It's pretty much all the Spurs players behind the ball. Pedro Porro does well. And Højbjerg now goes long, looking for Richarlison. Richarlison's finding a lot of space in behind here. Here he is. Richarlison finds Harry Kane. Looks for Son. Good defender from Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Casemiro can't bring the ball down. Bruno Fernandes eventually steals it. Wan-Bissaka clears it. Eric Dyer has it. And we'll look to build. Here is Pedro Porro. Goes back to Romero. Here is Harry Kane. Goes to Perisic. Comes inside. Goes long. Again, looking for Heung-min Son this time. Luke Shaw's there. It is this. The long ball is all they've got at the moment. Lovely play from Casemiro. Finds Diego Dalot. Out to Jadon Sancho. That's an awful first touchdown. Here comes Spurs. Pedro Porro is forced back to Romero. Lovely ball into Harry Kane though. What a pass from Christian Romero. Harry Kane looks to get the cross in. Blocked. But Spurs still have it. 15 minutes in. 1-0 Man United. But Spurs, at the moment, looking dangerous. The momentum certainly they're going their way at the moment. Højbjerg. To Porro. Back to Højbjerg. Goes across to Dyer. Spurs just keeping it moving. Keeping it alive. Skip. Long lay. Out wide to Pedro Porro, who's keeping the whip very well here. Heung-min Son goes inside. Romero. You can look how high the two wide centre backs for Spurs are. Romero and Longley. They're playing as almost as sixes at the moment. As Richarlison is played through by Heung-min Son on this right hand side this time. Ball comes in. David De Gea gets out well and claims the cross. Good beat. Good bit of goalkeeping there from David De Gea. He would have been onside. Wan-Bissaka keeping him miles on. Ball comes in. But nothing really comes of it though. We'll see this cross again from Wan-Bissaka. It's not. It's into a great area. Just no one really reacting. Long ball. Perisic wins the flick on. Lindelof wins the second ball. Casemiro out to Jadon Sancho. Sancho will bring it forward for Manchester United. Dalot with the overlap. Sancho moves it into Christian Eriksen. Luke Shaw with a poor first touch, but Lindelof has it now. Eriksen's offering it. Here he is on the ball. Christian Eriksen, obviously against one of his former clubs, and the club that he spent the most time in his career at. Here's Dalot. Back to Eriksen. Goes crossfield looking for Wan-Bissaka. Perisic wins it. Lindelof very high, very aggressive there, does well. Here is Wan-Bissaka. Lovely ball looking for Bruno Fernandes. Højbjerg tracks the run though and deals with it. Good defending from there from Højbjerg and Spurs. Lindelof. Sure. Eriksen, lovely ball into Anthony. Bruno, out to Sancho. Can he make it two? Great block by Romero. Sancho cleared off the line by Perisic. So close for Manchester United to making it a second. Sancho had his first shot blocked by Romero and the second one cleared off the line by Ivan Perisic. Great two chances there for Manchester United. And Jadon Sancho so unlucky not to have a second to his name today already. Bruno now goes over the top looking for Rashford. Fraser forces off his line quickly and gets there. Very, very good here from Manchester United. As the first 19 minutes go, I think Manchester United will be very, very happy. So it's a goal for Everton. The game that it is under VAR review. Anthony, it is under VAR review for offside. So I'll keep an eye on it as Pedro Porro comes forward here for Spurs. He goes for goal, and the goal has been disallowed. An offside in the build-up means Dominic Calvert-Lewin has had his goal disallowed. And it remains 1-0 Newcastle. Great bit of defending from Pedro Porro and Romero. Two big blocks on Sancho's shots, which allows Perisic to clear it off the line fairly easily. Højbjerg's on down with a knock. So if you guys are enjoying the stream, please do hit that like button below and subscribe if you are new and you haven't already. That would be greatly appreciated. Obviously, Manchester United are currently 1-0 up. We are keeping an eye on the other games being played today. So that's the Everton-Newcastle game and the Southampton-Bournemouth game, which are both at half-time now. Everton had a goal disallowed just before half-time. So that score is still 1-0 Newcastle at Goodison Park, while Southampton Bournemouth at the St Mary's Stadium is still 0-0. Anthony wins a free kick there for really poor there from Clement Longley, just out kind of pushes Anthony down. It's a blatant foul, easy free kick for United, and it's just not. It's in such a nothing area. It's just pointless because if anything, Spurs want the ball in the area that he's fouled him in. Just don't foul him. Hold him up a bit and put a bit of pressure on him. Lovely pass from De Gea. Brilliant play here from Manchester United. And here is Christian Eriksen. Gets it out wide to Jadon Sancho. Pedro Porro. We've seen this before. This time Sancho does pass. Should have shot. He should have shot. The same situation appeared which Sancho scored the first goal from. And I thought we were going to see the same thing happen again. But this time he actually used him. And Eriksen weren't expecting it. There's loads of balloons on the pitch. Which is not great. But look how high Manchester United are playing at the moment. Everyone but De Gea in the Spurs half. Here is Jadon Sancho. Goes back into Luke Shaw. Lindelof takes it on the halfway line. Into Wan-Bissaka. Luke Shaw. Casemiro. Lovely ball into Christian Eriksen. Diego Dalot's there. Bruno Fernandes. No, Rashford. Into Anthony. Can he cut in? Bruno Fernandes. Shoot. Good block by Christian Romero. 23 minutes played here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It's Tottenham 0, Manchester United 1. Corner for United after a good block from Christian Romero to deny Bruno Fernandes. Forster probably would have saved it anyway, but important defending nonetheless. Christian Eriksen will take the corner for Manchester United. Sorry, it's Luke Shaw to take the corner, not Christian Eriksen. Ball comes in. Dealt with quite easily. Here is now Christian Eriksen. Goes across to Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Bruno Fernandes. Back to Eriksen. Luke Shaw. Bruno Fernandes. Across to Diego Dalot. Casemiro looks for the ball into the box. Easily dealt with by Clement Longley. Casemiro. Into Diego Dalot. Victor Lindelof. Casemiro. Lovely ball into Bruno Fernandes, who turns really well. Bruno Fernandes shoots. Fraser Forster. Not the most convincing of saves. Should have really held that for me. But it's out for a corner. It's a great turn from Bruno Fernandes to get away from Eric Dyer. He really should hold that for me, Forster. It's straight at him, really. It's not moving too much. For me, he should hold that. Luke Shaw with the corner here. Goes short into Sancho. Back into Luke Shaw. Eriksen. Changes the angle. Lovely ball in. Casemiro picks it up. Pulls it back. Anthony shots. Blocked. And what's he given? He's given offside for Casemiro. Even though he's not gone for the ball whatsoever. Unless Casemiro was originally offside. That is the worst refereeing. He's not offside. What's he given then? He's not offside there. He pulls it back. The shot is blocked. I don't think he's offside there and doesn't go for it. He lets it run out. Oh, crap refereeing. Absolutely crap refereeing. Richarlison up against Lindelof. Well, you can't do that, ref. Richarlison's the outball for Spurs at the moment. He's the one that's going to do something for them, if anyone's going to do something for him. Perisic, sorry, looks for Son. Good defending from Luke Shaw, wins it, and Højbjerg goes back now to Eric Dyer. Bloody hell. Dyer goes back into Hugo Lloris to Fraser Forster, who is forced long. Again, looking for Richarlison, but it's won by Lindelof. Højbjerg to Richarlison, back to Højbjerg. Wan-Bissaka couldn't reach it. Here is Richarlison. In for Spurs. Luke Shaw with a big block. Luke Shaw's not happy. He's screaming at, I think it's Wan-Bissaka. Might have been Lindelof. Just saying he's been drawn in. Yeah, it was Lindelof. And great defending. No, he's screaming at Wan-Bissaka. I have to say, again, I don't know why Richarlison doesn't shoot there. He looks for the ball across to the back post. I don't know why he's not shooting. But it's a corner here. Pedro Porro will take. Half an hour in. Ball comes in. Flicked in the front post. I don't know if De Gea saves it or hits the bar. Some shot blocked by Sancho. And Luke Shaw can now bring it away. Into Sancho. Back to Luke Shaw. Into Wan-Bissaka. Bruno Fernandes. Would he go long? No, he looks for Marcus Rashford and finds him. Here is Rashford. Crossfield ball to Eriksen, who now goes into Jadon Sancho, who's a lovely turn. 1v1 now with Sancho. Bruno Fernandes, back to Christian Eriksen. Sancho, Bruno, back to Sancho. Christian Eriksen. Looks for Sancho. Eriksen. Lindelof. Casemiro. Puts the ball into the box. Headed clear by Romero. Richarlison. Goes down. He's never getting a foul for that. Christian Romero just goes through the back of Wan-Bissaka there. But we play on. That's just crap defending from Romero. Here is Sancho. Sancho still. Why has he passed it there? It's a really poor pass. Perisic clears. But it's only out for a throw-in. And we'll see this corner again from Spurs. Pedro Porro put a great ball in, and it was a great save by David De Gea. At the front post, just punches it clear. A save you expect your goalkeeper to make, but it's a good one nonetheless. Again, like I was saying about Fraser Forster, could he catch that? I would argue probably yes. I think Anthony Taylor there just saying, Richarlison, keep your head, lad. Luke Shaw. If you guys are enjoying the stream, please do hit that like button below and subscribe if you are new and you haven't already. That would be greatly appreciated. It helps to grow this community. And please do share the channel on the stream as well. Again, if you are enjoying, it's greatly appreciated. Eric Dyer wins the long ball from David De Gea. Kane wins the second, but Luke Shaw deals with the third. And here is Shaw. Gives it away though, and now he needs to get back. Anthony sprinting back. Dalot's having to fill in as a centre back. Perisic, his cross doesn't get past Wan-Bissaka. Spurs 0, Manchester United 1 is the score as it stands. Corner here for Spurs. Obviously, they were pretty dangerous from the last one. How will they react? How will they do this time? Pedro Porro delivers to the back stick. It's an awful ball. And it's out for a goal kick. Doesn't come close to anyone. Really poor ball in. So Luke Shaw will take the goal kick. Just rolls it into De Gea. Who looks for Rashford. Dyer wins it. Casemiro. Lovely first time ball to Jadon Sancho. Here is Jadon Sancho. into Marcus Rashford. Back to Sancho. Give it to Dalot. Diego Dalot. Now, can we get players into the box? Casemiro. Lindelof. Shaw. Eriksen. Bruno. Looks to slip it through. Sancho. Dalot. Bruno. Anthony. Back to Bruno. Well blocked. Rashford. Can't get the shot away. Just crowded out. Rashford's appealing for something. I'm not sure what. Højbjerg moves it out to Pedro Porro. Porro goes back into Romero. I tell you what, I don't look. When Spurs were getting Pedro Porro, I saw so many Spurs fans going on. Oh, he's amazing. He's an amazing right back, right wing back. And I stood by when all I said at the time was, he's a right back, Alex Telles. I said it over and over again, and Spurs fans were going, no, he's not. He's way better. He's going to be so good. And all I see from Pedro Porro is a right back, Alex Telles. Defensively, he's shocking. He can't really play in a back four. He got all these goals and assists and whatever in Portugal. He's come out of that league and he's been shocking. I just don't think Pedro Porro is that good. It's like Emerson Royale. He's not very good either. Romero. Harry Kane. Look how deep Harry Kane is. Into Pedro Porro. Skip. Højbjerg. Oliver Skip. Lovely ball out to Pedro Porro. Son. Skip. Højbjerg. Skip. Clement Longley. Perisic. Perisic. Well won by Anthony. Marcus Rashford has it now. Rashford into Eriksen. Good defending there from... I'm not sure who that was actually. Good play there from De Gea and Lindelof. And Lindelof goes down the line. Finds Marcus Rashford. Rashford does really well here up against Eric Dyer. And that's a foul, ref. He's not giving it though. And here is Richarlison. Casemiro does well. Ball comes across the 6-yard box. And again, no Spurs players attacking it. Where is Harry Kane? Here is Bruno Fernandes. Christian Romero's chasing back. Just kicks Bruno. A blatant foul. It's a booking. He's kicked him. I think Richarlison's offside again. That Richarlison cannot stay onside, by the way. Wan-Bissaka. To David De Gea. Goes across to Dalot. Finds Bruno. Bruno Fernandes again. Moves it out to Jadon Sancho. Not the greatest of balls. Christian Romero sees it out for a throw-in. Throw-in for United. It's with Lindelof now. Just inside United's half. United took it quickly. Here is Wan-Bissaka into Anthony. Honestly, I think Manchester United have played well. I have to say, I'm really happy with this this performance from United. Spurs, look, like I said, they had a point to prove. They've been given an absolute bollocking after that 6-1 defeat to Newcastle. Obviously, refunded the fans for their tickets. Luke Shaw, look how quick he is. That is absolutely outstanding from Luke Shaw. And it's the curse of the commentator as he's giving it away. But Sancho's back and makes a good tackle, and Kane. And now we'll look to play. But yeah, Spurs have a point to prove. They've got a chip on their shoulder after that heavy defeat to Newcastle. They've been given a bollocking, and generally, I think United have kind of nullified them. And I think we've been the better team. We've certainly created the better chances, and I mean, we're the one that scored the goal, Jadon Sancho, and we were so close to getting a second. Eriksen, crossfield ball, looking for Anthony. It's picked up by Richarlison though. And we have a goal, and it's for Bournemouth. And that is not a good sign if you're a Leicester, if you're a Leeds, if you're an Everton fan, if you're even potentially a Nottingham Forest fan, West Ham. Because Bournemouth looks like if they win today, they might end up staying up. Bruno puts it into the back post. Rashford, huge save by Fraser Forster. Makes himself so big there, Forster. And gets in the way. I'm not sure how he saves it or what he saves it with, but he does make the save. Ball comes in. It's Marcus Tavernier with the goal, by the way. Here is Heung-min Son. Finds Kane. Højbjerg. Kane. Puts it across. Just again, nobody there. I'll tell you what, Spurs' main problem is they keep creating, and it's been Richarlison quite a lot, but Kane there, they're creating great opportunities for cutbacks, but there's just nobody in the box. They have nobody in that 6-yard box. Just waiting to tap it in. Dallo. Poor pass. Skip goes back to Longley. Long ball. Lindelof wins it. Bruno into Anthony. Finds Eriksen. What a ball from Eriksen to Marcus Rashford. Rashford's in! Good save by Forster. It's a great hit from Rashford. But it's a good save by Forster. And we have a free kick now. Edge of the box. Højbjerg goes into the book, and rightly so. It was a late challenge on Bruno Fernandes. 5 minutes away before the break. Højbjerg gives away a free kick on Bruno Fernandes. And we'll see it hit. We'll see this Rashford chance again. He takes it down on his chest. And his weaker left side, he hits it well, but it is straight at Forster. As I say, you expect your goalkeeper to make. It is raining in London. And it's Christian Eriksen standing over this free kick. I tell you what, Bruno Fernandes, when we signed him, was meant to be this great free kick taker. He scored a couple, but he's never on them anymore. Luke Shaw just saying, get out the way, Anthony Taylor. It's Shaw and Eriksen standing over this free kick. I imagine it will be Eriksen to take it. It is going to be Eriksen, But it's always over the bar there. Got it up, but didn't get it back down. And it's out for a goal kick for Spurs. Eric Dyer will take the goal kick. We'll just roll it into Fraser Forster. Goes into Romero. Not a bad ball, really. Wan-Bissaka gives away a free kick on Richarlison. He's bugged him. Are you taking the piss, ref? Of all the bookings, Richarlison's got it just beating him to the ball. Like a 50-50, he's booked him for that. That's a disgrace. He's trying to compare it to the Højbjerg one. They're nothing alike. And here comes Perisic. Wan-Bissaka and Lindelof, where are you? Perisic, denied by David De Gea. Luke Shaw got across. But it's a great save by David De Gea. It was a poor effort, really, from Perisic. But let's not discredit the save from De Gea. Got two strong hands to it and pushes it away. And now here comes Manchester United. Bruno Fernandes goes crossfield ball looking for Marcus Rashford. Rashford has it. Up against Dyer. Rashford! 2-0 Manchester United! He does his celebration. It's 2-0 Manchester United. And from one end to the other, Manchester United take a 2-goal lead. And Spurs, they're collapsing. Ryan Mason, you're no better than Christian Stellini. You're a BTEC Antonio Conte. It's Tottenham 0, Manchester United 2. Could it be offside? That's the only thing I can think of. No, it's not going to be offside. He's in his own half. It's a great ball from Bruno Fernandes. Eric Dyer just gets nowhere near Marcus Rashford. He stands him up and says, go on then, try and take me. Rashford goes on the outside and on his left foot just smashes it past an oncoming Fraser Forster into the middle of the goal. It's Manchester United 2, Spurs 0. And that is fantastic. Manchester United have a 2-goal lead. Bruno Fernandes deserves a lot of credit for that assist. But Marcus Rashford, he's the one that's put the ball in the back of the net. And it's 2-0 Manchester United. And I think that's this game done and dusted. And I'll tell you what. I said it before. I said 2-0. I didn't mean at half time. Ball comes into the box. Luke Shaw heads clear. Big for Manchester United. And I'll tell you what's annoying. I've got Marcus Rashford on my bench. In fantasy football. Is that a goal and assist for Rashford? And he's on my bench. And he's not going to come on. For fuck's sake. Goal and assist, yeah. Because Darwin Núñez came on for 12 minutes. Perisic and Ben White have played, but they're just bad at football. Ball comes in. Easily dealt with. Because I didn't change my team from last week when both Rashford and Shaw didn't play, they're now on the bench. Brilliant. This is why I don't play fantasy football. Load of shit. There's 2 minutes of added time here in the first half. It's a long ball. Rashford finds Jadon Sancho. Eriksen. Does he want to throw in? We did. Luke Shaw with it. Cross to Lindelof. Lindelof goes across to Wan-Bissaka. Anthony. Bruno. Goes back into Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Would you change anything at half time? If you're Erik ten Hag, do you change anything? Because I don't. Is the carousel working? No. Brilliant. Carousel. Why is this not working? So it's half time. There we go. There we go. The carousel's now working again. Brilliant. That whole first half, it hasn't been working. Absolutely brilliant. But half time, Spurs 0, Manchester United 2. It's been fairly easy, hasn't it? I mean, Spurs have hardly been at the races. If we look at the stats, well, the stats going to load. No, it's not going to work. Here we go. So here's the stats. United dominating the ball, 61%. United 11 shots to 6, 6 on target to 3. It's been an utterly dominant performance from Manchester United, and we've got the 2 goals that we deserve. Spurs haven't been at the races at all. They've been really poor, really. You've got to say, if you're a Spurs fan, you've got to be disappointed again with your team's performance. It's pretty shambolic. Pretty shambolic. Another performance that just looks dead. Lack of effort. I said Ollie should have went a long time ago before he did. Look, Ollie, for all his criticism, for all his problems, when things were going well for Solskjaer, there weren't much of a better feeling. But we've got a bald guy, we've got a baldy in charge now, and I've never loved a man more. I've never loved a man more. Erik ten Hag, what a coach. And we're only going to get better. That's the thing as well. Not only are we so much better now than we were, especially at the end of last year with Ragnick, we will only get better. See certain pages keep hyping McKenna and Carrick. Hope they stay far away from United. I mean, I like Michael Carrick. I think he did well in his 2-3 games he had in charge of United. He's done unbelievably well at Middlesbrough. And Kieran McKenna, again, he's done really, really well at Ipswich. I mean, I don't know if you keep up with or watch any Ipswich and Middlesbrough, but I mean, especially Ipswich. I've got a couple of mates that support Ipswich or at least follow them. So I've watched them here and there, and obviously I know from my Ipswich fans, Ipswich fan friends, that they've been unreal under McKenna, and he's completely transformed them. And obviously I know how good Middlesbrough have been, and what the job Carrick's done from taking them from looking like relegation at the start of the season to arguably the second best team in the Championship. But agree what you say though. All we all we need now is top four comfortably, turn up in the FA Cup final and go on next season. Consistency is key, yes. And I think that's what has been the most frustrating thing about Manchester United over the last few years. And it is still here. We can be amazing one game and then be dreadful the next. You look at our run before we played, and then you look at the Liverpool game and then our run afterwards. We were playing unbelievably well. We got battered by Liverpool, and then we played well again. And top teams don't do that. Top teams play well every game, and they turn up in the big occasions. At times this season, United have turned up in the big games. Man City at home, Liverpool at home, Arsenal at home, and both Spurs games, Carabao Cup final. We've turned up in those games and we've won. But we've also had games where we haven't turned up and we have played poorly in these big games. Man City at the Etihad, Liverpool at Anfield. I mean, we weren't great against Chelsea, Potter's Chelsea, really, were we? So it's that consistency is key. And what I'm most looking forward to under Erik ten Hag is at the moment, in these big games, you look at when we beat City, Brighton in the FA Cup semi-final, we played Ole Gunnar Solskjaer football, essentially. We defended, obviously, as a group, we were better. We're much better set up, even if we are playing in the kind of style of the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer team, which is kind of defend, sit deep, and counter-attack. In the big games, because of the group of players we've got, because Erik ten Hag hasn't had the time to kind of make the players play in the fashion that we want to play in these big games and dominate against the top sides. Well, yeah, we have to go defensive, but eventually we'll be able to go toe-to-toe with Liverpool. We're toe-to-toe with Man City's, Arsenal's, playing the way we want to play, not playing to try and stop them like Arsenal have done this season. I'm going to go watch the second half. Good to see your channel is still going. Talking about consistency, keep it up. Thank you, Sil, mate. Enjoy the second half. Right. On that bombshell, I'm going to go fill my bottle up. I'm going to blow my nose because it's all blocked. And I'll be back in just a mo. We might turn on one of the other games while we're at half time and just keep an eye on one of the other games. Probably the Newcastle-Everton game. But we'll sort that when I get back. I'll be right back. Hello. Right, I think the second half, Newcastle are 2-0 up. Newcastle are 2-0 up. Great first half from United. We need to keep attacking. Then there's more goals in this game for us. There certainly is more goals. United are the better team. I said we would be the better team. We certainly are. I'm liking the swishy graphics. Not the way I would describe them. I would describe it more as a carousel. But thank you very much. Thank you very much. Although they've been around most of the season, so clearly not a true FC football fan. Joel Linton got the second goal for Newcastle, by the way. So the second half is about to get kicked underway. I am the Trust fan. Truest fan, how dare you accuse. You would know about the carousel before now. Right, we are underway. Can we... Lucy? Munzie, sorry. Munzie. I always say Munzie. Munzie. Do we have score predictions for the second half? See, it's already 2-0. Will we get any more? There we go. So timers all synced up. 4-1. I don't like the fact that you think we're going to concede. That's shocking. Ball comes in, well defended from Casemiro. Is out for another corner. There we go. Another ball comes in from Pedro Porro, headed cleared by Casemiro. I don't think the 4-1. I don't think 4-1 is keeping me on my toes. A nervy 2-1 might, but there's a Levy out or Levy out banner. I mean, it doesn't look like many people are really getting behind it. Daniel Levy's never going to leave in Spurs, is he? Pedro Porro into Heung-min Son. Back to Porro. Good defending from Diego Dallo. Porro. Skip. Kane goes back into Longley. Across to Højbjerg. Højbjerg. Lovely ball into Heung-min Son. Son drives forward here. Son looks for Richarlison. Well defended from Lindelof. Højbjerg. Across to Clement Longley. Spurs, they've come out. It's a reaction after what was a dreadful first half. Perisic delivers. Porro shoots. Kane picks it up. Kane chipped it to the back stick. Lindelof, good defending. Perisic puts the ball back in the box. De Gea, what are you doing? Headed over by, is it Richarlison or Longley? I think it's Longley. Bloody hell. The ball came in and United just never really dealt with it. Kane was onside. Casemiro kept him on. Kane chipped it to the back stick. Lindelof won it. Perisic then had it. Ball came in. It deflected up off of Wan-Bissaka. And what the hell is De Gea doing? He's just bullied by Richarlison. And it's off the top of the crossbar and over the bar. United get away with one. De Gea gets away with one as well. What's the creative thought behind the hoodie shirt combo? So it's 3-0 Newcastle. Callum Wilson has a second, I want to say. Did he score the first? So Everton, they could be fucked here. They could be going down. Essentially, I this morning I woke up, was like, Man United are playing, doing a stream, Man United shirt. So that goes on. I was in the house. I was like, this is a bit chilly. Put a jumper on over the top of it. Before I start the stream, I'm like, right. I put the shirt on specifically because Man United are playing today. It's still pretty cold. Take the jumper off, take the shirt off, jumper on, shirt over the top. I get the best of both worlds. There we go. Plus, fashion statement. Fashion statement. What can I say? I am an inspiration to many and to none. But we have a goal kick here. Luke Shaw just rolls it to De Gea. Goes long. Rashford can't win it. And here is Christian Romero. Kim Son is rubbish at football and passes it out for a throw-in. Dalot with the throw-in. We have had no changes so far in this game, obviously. Which, from a Man United perspective, is good. From a Spurs perspective, maybe you would have liked to seen a few changes. And I was right. Callum Wilson did get a second. So the goals in the Newcastle game, as I said, it's 3-0 to Newcastle at Goodison Park against Everton. Callum Wilson with a brace and Joel Linton separated both of Wilson's goals. And Bournemouth are still leading Southampton in Southampton at the St Mary's by 1-0 thanks to a goal from Tavernier. Bruno Fernandes, crossfield ball, looking for Diego Dalot. He brings it down and goes back into to Christian Eriksen. Shaw into Lindelof. United just knocking the ball around. Lindelof back into Christian Eriksen, looking for a bit of creativity. Sancho to Dalot. Diego Dalot tries to get round Porro, but just out for a goal kick. For a throw-in, sorry. I was trying to mute the mic there. Didn't work. Pedro Porro with a throw-in here for Spurs. 51 minutes in. Still Tottenham 0, Manchester United 2. For those of you who care about the games in the Championship, or the game, I believe it's Rotherham Cardiff. It is. That game is 1-0. Obviously, for those of you who don't know, so that game was played earlier in the season. Cardiff were winning 1-0. But it then got called off or abandoned mid-game due to a waterlogged pitch. There was videos and release of the pitch guys. I can't think what they're called. The groundsman sweeping water back onto the pitch. It's a bit of a piss take, but it is now being replayed, and it is 1-0 with Cardiff having missed the penalty just before half-time. But good news for Everton fans. They've got a goal, but it looks like Newcastle may hit straight back and score a fourth themselves. So Dwight McNeil has scored for Everton to make it 3-1. Ball comes into the back post. And it is 4-1. It's an instant reply from Newcastle United. Their race for Champions League football looks like it will be a race they will complete. They're third at the moment, currently on... Well, they were on 59 points before today. They'll move up to 52. No, hold on. 62? I've forgotten what number they were on. They'll go up to 62, as will Manchester United, but Newcastle have played an extra game. Wan-Bissaka, Eriksen, Casemiro. Good play here from Manchester United. Why Wan-Bissaka's tried to cut back in there, I don't know. He loses it to Richarlison. Wan-Bissaka gets back though. What a challenge. He is so good. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, the spider. He is quality. And it was Jacob Murphy with the goal for Newcastle. So it's Everton 1, Newcastle 4. Eriksen, that's poor from you. Just a bit lazy there. And Longley has it. Finds Højbjerg. Dyer. Skip. Nice play here from Spurs. And here's Oliver Skip. Skip's demanding more movement from the two strikers in Richarlison and Heung-min Son there before he just gave the ball away. But Spurs have it back now. Højbjerg with a lovely chipped ball out to Ivan Perisic on this left-hand side. Ball comes in far too easy from Perisic to get that ball into the box. Pedro Porro, 2-1. It's a great finish from Pedro Porro. And it's a goal back for Spurs. That is poor defending from Manchester United. Pedro Porro scores for Spurs. Not ideal. The ball came in. It's rubbish defending. And Pedro Porro, he just kind of swings a leg at it. And it goes into the front post, top corner. A bit of luck about it, for sure. It's a good finish, though. Not ideal. Not ideal start to the second half. Goal stands. De Gea was appealing for offside on Richarlison, but never really going to get it. And here comes Marcus Rashford. Can we instantly reply here? Rashford goes to Christian Eriksen. Bruno Fernandes in the box. Bruno Fernandes hits the bar. Wan-Bissaka with a diving header. How Bruno Fernandes hasn't scored there, I don't know. Eriksen with a lovely ball to Bruno. He skips past Longley. He hits the bar. And Wan-Bissaka, why he's trying to dive in header that, I don't know. Bruno Fernandes has to score there, though, for me. He's pretty much in the 6-yard box. How he's not scored, I don't know. And Wan-Bissaka goes for the diving header, heads it down into the ground, but it bounces up at a good height for Forster to push it away for a corner. United will now take this corner as Christian Eriksen delivers. Forster comes out and gets a good punch on it. Anthony goes for goal. Easy save from Forster. And the 4-1 prediction could well be on now. Luke Shaw. Christian Eriksen. Turns out, lovely ball out to Jadon Sancho. Getting a bit more success now. Since the Spurs goal, United kind of switched back on. It's kind of woken United up, and here we are on the attack here. I don't know what was said at half-time from a United's perspective, but we just didn't really come out until that goal. And Lindelof's now found a great ball to Wan-Bissaka, who gets the cross in, but it's a poor one. It's straight into the arms of Fraser Forster. Wan-Bissaka should do better there for me. Is this chance for Bruno Fernandes? He absolutely sends Clement Longley to the shops. That is unreal from Bruno Fernandes. Just rolls it through Longley's legs. And he has to score, Bruno Fernandes. Seen it over and over again. Southampton have equalised against Bournemouth. A huge goal in the relegation scrap. 1-1. What is going on? Southampton won, Bournemouth won. In the 90th minute, Che Adams equalises for the Saints with a goal which could be huge for their survival, and a goal that could be huge for the likes of Everton, for the likes of West Ham, not really West Ham at this point, Leeds, Leicester, potentially Forest. I mean, look, Bournemouth are slowly escaping it. But a point today. Oh, it doesn't count. Southampton have had their goal disallowed. So Bournemouth, as it stands, will currently climb above West Ham and go a point below Wolves. Højbjerg from the edge, fired wide. Huge for Bournemouth. And I think today's win, if they do hold on, we'll see them survive. Will be enough for survival for me. Changes are coming. Kulusevski and Fred. So Eriksen's off for Fred. And Anthony Martial's on. So I think it's Sancho and Eriksen. It is for Martial. And Fred. There we go. Kane shoots, well blocked. Fred picks it up with a loose pass. Pedro Porro, good tackle. There we go. Kulusevski does well. Here is Kulusevski up against Casemiro. Gets the cross into the back stick. Wan-Bissaka does well to see it behind for a corner for Spurs. And Spurs looking dangerous. I mean, what do people make of the Sancho sub? I'm seeing a lot of people disagreeing with it. I don't think Anthony's been in the game loads, but I don't think we've really got it out to the right hand side. De Gea goes long now, looking for Bruno Fernandes. Humenson's back there, wins the first ball. I don't think we've really used Anthony on the right. But defensively, I think he's done a good job. And as right wingers go, Sancho isn't as good as Anthony for me. So I can see why. It's 5-1 Newcastle. 5-1 Newcastle. Fabian Schär now's popped up with a goal for them. Oliver Skip goes back to Fraser Forster. Tottenham 1, Manchester United 2 here. Luke Shaw wins the header. Fred. Casemiro goes forward. Finds Martial. Moves it into Bruno Fernandes. Into Anthony. Anthony, can you find Martial? It's a good ball in. Martial just stops his run as Anthony looks to play the pass. Just a mix up in communication there. Lindelof. Shaw back to Fred to Shaw again. Shaw finds Martial, who's dropping in. Try and conduct a bit of play here. Brilliant play here from Anthony Martial. He's looking for an option, loses it. And Shaw makes a good challenge, last ditch challenge at that as well. Shaw goes over to Kane and says, "You're right, lad." Obviously, England teammates. Kulusevski goes into Pedro Porro. Goes down the line. Casemiro knocks it into Dalot. Bruno Fernandes. Martial's offering himself for it. Fred. Rashford. United just trying to calm it down. Martial and Bruno Fernandes both saying, just calm it down, just slow it down. Spurs have got a bit of momentum right now. Let's just kill it off. Sergio Romero is playing us up top at the moment. Why is he so high? United, look at it. Just trying to kill the game off, kill it off. This is what all the good teams do. We saw Man City doing this yesterday against Arsenal when they took a lead. And United trying to do the same now. Martial can't win the ball back here for United. Here is Harry Kane. He gets past Luke Shaw here. Kane looks to put the ball into the box. Son of the back stick. Shoots wide. It's a great chance for Spurs. We so often see Heung-min Son score in those situations. Got to score. So, the full-time scores in the other games in the Premier League. Everton 1, Newcastle 4. That Fabian Schär goal has been disallowed. Southampton 0, Bournemouth 1. Rotherham and Cardiff, which kicked off at 8 o'clock. We're in the last 10 minutes of that. That's 1-1 as it stands. Here comes Kulusevski for Spurs. Kulusevski looks to go across to the back stick. Well saved by David De Gea. The referee says no touch from De Gea. Says it, Kulusevski shot wide. United not come out in this second half really at all. De Gea might not have saved it actually. Referee might have got it that right. De Gea goes long. Well won by Skip. Casemiro goes up into Wan-Bissaka. Anthony. Lindelof. Shaw. Fred. Poor pass from Fred to Kulusevski. Pedro Porro goes back to Forster, and now they'll look to rebuild here. Spurs. Longley. I tell you what, that Bruno Fernandes chance just after Spurs scores was massive. And if Spurs make a comeback, we'll look back at that, and that was the moment. Spurs score, they have the momentum, kill it off straight away with that goal from Bruno Fernandes. Exactly what Newcastle did to Everton. At 3-1, Everton think maybe they can mount a comeback. Newcastle killed them dead with that Jacob Murphy goal. Bruno Fernandes and Manchester United had the chance to do the same. We didn't. What can Spurs do? Here comes Ivan Perisic. Perisic pulls it back to Son, edge of the box. Back to Perisic. Ball comes in. Dyer has to score. He's in the 6-yard box. Ryan Mason falls to the ground, headbutts the ground. That is a sitter for Eric Dyer. It's a free header in the 6-yard box and he's missed. Eric Dyer misses from 6 yards out. What a miss. 6-yard box. And he heads wide. Fred finds Martial. It's not a great pass. Martial can't really take it into his stride. Martial lays it off to Bruno. Finds Rashford. Marcus Rashford. Rashford's gone down. He's on his shin. Referee gives a corner. Obviously, we'll see what happens. Martial, lovely layoff to Bruno Fernandes. He found Rashford. It's a great tackle from Oliver Skipp. Bruno Fernandes will take this corner. Obviously, Christian Eriksen no longer on the pitch. So it will be Bruno to take it. Goes short. Change of angle. Bruno Fernandes puts it to the back stick. Fraser Forster with a good hand to it. Is that for another corner for United? This time from Manchester United's right hand side. Looks like Bruno Fernandes will go and take this once again. Vegas and Malacia coming on. So Wan-Bissaka comes off. So Dalot will move to right back. And Anthony's off. So Bruno Fernandes will go right wing. I think Vegas is going to go number 10. Obviously, we could see Martial move into number 10. Obviously, we've got... It'll bring a bit of height, Vegas, but I'm not... Aside from that aside, I'm not sure really why we've made that change. There we go. So that's how we're going to be lining up now. Rashford, edge of the box. Finds Vegas. Vegas is playing number 10. Bruno Fernandes just lashes it back to De Gea. And we'll look to rebuild again. Here's Fred. Chips it forward, looking for Dalot. Dalot just can't bring it down, and Spurs just about deal with it. Rashford. If you are enjoying the stream, please do hit that like button below. Subscribe if you are new and you haven't already. That would be greatly appreciated. We're 72 minutes in. Tottenham 1, Manchester United 2. Diogo Dalot with it on this right-hand side. Into Casemiro. Vegas is on at number 10. Malacia swarmed there and loses it, but Shaw picks it back up. Back to Malacia. To Marcus Rashford. Go on, Rashford. Skips past Skip. Kulusevski makes a good tackle, though. And here is Højbjerg. Vegas is getting back. Can't make the tackle. Kulusevski. Good tackle by Vegas. Getting back. Makes a last-ditch challenge. It went out for a throw-in. Spurs have taken it quickly. Here's Højbjerg. Across to Eric Dyer. This second half, United not been good enough. But Cardiff City have scored against Rotherham. It's 2-1 in the Championship in the 88th minute. What Cardiff really deserved. They deserve to win this game. Or that game, I should say. Based on what happened in the original match. And they have taken the lead in the last few minutes. 88 minutes played at Rotherham. Rotherham 1, Cardiff 2. Just over 15 minutes to go here in the Manchester United Spurs game. It is Tottenham 1, Manchester United 2. Free kick to Spurs here. Højbjerg looks to chip it over the top. Kane Volleys it across. Longley, can we deal with it? Just about, but Kulusevski on the edge puts it back into the box. Blocked by Rashford originally. Dalot wins the first ball against Perisic. Fred does well. Bruno Fernandes now just slowing it down. Chips it over to Fred. Lovely play from Bruno Fernandes and Fred there. Here is Casemiro looking to bring it forward. Perisic tackles Casemiro there and Spurs have it. Goes across to Oliver Skip. Kane. Lovely ball looking for Kulusevski. It goes over Malassia's head. Kulusevski pulls it back to Curtis Romero. Kane shoots straight at David De Gea. And we've seen those slip through David De Gea's fingers before. This time, he does hold on. Højbjerg. Nice ball over to Pedro Porro. Kulusevski. Malassia gives away a throw-in. Not what we needed. 15 minutes to go in this game. Tottenham 1. Tottenham 1. Man United 1. 2, sorry. I'm all over the place. Harry Kane finds Pedro Porro. Bringing it forward here for Spurs. Poor ball. Casemiro wins it. Bruno Fernandes finds Weghorst. Turns well. You fucking kidding. You're kidding me, ref! How is he given that as a foul? Weghorst gets it. Looks to turn. Naturally will use his arms. And Skip's gone down. That is an awful decision from the referee. Never a foul. That is a disgrace of a decision. Absolute disgrace. And if Spurs score from this, Anthony Taylor needs fucking, I don't know. I was going to say locking up, but that seems a bit extreme. So Pedro Porro looks like he's coming off. And he is. Dan Juma's on. Is that Perisic also going off? For Ben Davis. So it could be, I'm not sure what this has gone to now. Ball comes in. It could be a 5-back. Could be Kulusevski as a wing-back. I think it's a 5. I think it might be Kulusevski at right back. The right wing back. I think that's what we're seeing. De Gea goes long. Weghorst wins the flick on. Can't win the second ball. It could be a back four with Romero at right back. Fraser Forster to Ben Davis. I think it might be a back four. I think Romero might be at right back. I tell you what, Fred, he's come on and it's been a shocker. Martial's not really got into the game. Weghorst the same. But Fred's come on, he's not playing well. Bruno Fernandes wins the ball and United have it. Casemiro, poor pass. Luke Shaw deals with it and gets it back to De Gea. And he will just go long looking for Weghorst. Well, he's not. He's actually looking for Rashford. Poor from David De Gea. And here comes Harry Kane. Puts it across. Heung-min Son. It's 2-2. It's 2-2. And that comes from David De Gea going long. There's absolutely no reason for David De Gea to have gone long there. He has, and it's 2-0. From 2-0 up with 2-2. An absolute collapse. He runs over to Ryan Mason. An absolute collapse of the highest order. And with 10 minutes to go, Spurs have a chance to win it. We're going to hope for an offside or something, but no, he's miles on. Miles on. For fuck's sake. He's miles on. It's 2-2. Tottenham 2, Manchester United 2. This second half has just not been good enough, but it comes from David De Gea. There's just no reason to launch it long when Luke Shaw gives it back to him. Shocking second half. Absolutely shocking second half from Manchester United. We've invited pressure and Spurs have got the 2 goals. Fred can't get away from Romero. Sat for a corner. The first thing Fred's really done since he's come on of any note. Bruno Fernandes with a corner. Ball comes into the box. Lindelof can't win it and it's cleared out. Malacia. What are you doing, Malacia? Goals conceded in the final 10 minutes this season. Spurs conceded 8. Let's hope they concede another. What a takedown that was from Casemiro. Finds Marcus Rashford. Rashford. Just runs into Oliver Skip. Luke Shaw does well. Wins a throw-in. Is that not a throw-in? He's taking the piss. He's given a throw-in to Spurs. That is a disgrace of a decision, that. Dyer. Goes long. Looking for Danjuma. Dallo. United have collapsed today. Absolutely collapsed. Shaw. Finds Fred. What is that from Fred? Fred has come on and he's put in a disaster class. I don't know why Ten Hag's made the subs he has. Look, you defend Ten Hag, he so often gets it right. But today he's got it wrong for me. Here is Bruno Fernandes. Looks for Rashford. Here he is, Marcus Rashford. Wasteful. That is so poor from Rashford. Just from so far out. I couldn't even tell you how far that is out. Takes it on the volley. It's always up. It's always over. So the Cardiff game is finished. Dallo. Once Bruno Fernandes pulls it back. No one chasing it. So this is the way Spurs are actually playing now. So it is a 4-2-3-1. Kane's playing as a number 10. Casemiro, Bruno. So that just sums up this game for Manchester United. Bruno Fernandes tries to make a pass and he just deflects off one of Manchester United's players. It might be a 4-4-2 really. Kane and Danjuma are constantly swapping positions. Martial in the box. Goes down. That's a penalty. Obviously, VR will look at it. We'll see it. Well, let's see it. That's a penalty. It's a penalty. That's got to be a pen. No, he's fucking stood on the ball. He stood on the ball. Not a penalty. Just... piss take. Tottenham 2, Manchester United 2. 5 minutes to go from 2-0 up, where we were so comfortable in that first half. We've absolutely thrown it away in the second. So Son's coming off a Tanganga. So it's back to the back three? Maybe? So Tanganga's on. Danjuma's will go to the right, the left. And Kulusevski. Is that how they're going to be playing? Fred. Sure. Dallo. This is just so Arsenal. Rashford. Up against Kulusevski. Puts a great ball in. Dyer gets there and clears it. And here comes Harry Kane and Spurs over the top looking for Danjuma. We've seen Danjuma bully Dallo before, but this time Dallo beats him to it. And Lindelof now finds Casemiro to Fred. Fred to Malacia. Fred. Who is out? Who is holding that? Look at that right side. There's absolutely nobody there. Lindelof into Diogo Dallo. Lindelof. And again, I go back to that missed chance for Bruno Fernandes. He's in the 6-yard box, hits the bar. He scores that. That's 3-1. And it kills Spurs off again. Bruno Fernandes. Not Bruno Fernandes. Luke Shaw looks to put the ball into the box. Well defended. Bagels can't win the ball back. Tanganga goes into Skip. Looks for Kulusevski. Fred's there. Wins a free kick. A minute to go of normal time. How much additional will we get? And we've done an Arsenal. 2-0 up, cruising, and we've capitulated in this second half. Sure. Rashford down the line for Malacia. Dyer as well. Is it a corner? Is that a goal kick? Goal kick. Bernard shakes his head. It's a long ball from Forster. And we'll see how long we get. 4 added minutes. Will we find a winner? Will the game see a winner? Casemiro picks it up. Good tackle from Malacia. Finds Bruno Fernandes. Back to Malacia. Martial wants it. Here's Rashford. Finds Martial. He's onside. Martial. Malacia looks to put the cross in. Out for a corner. Deflections off Tanganga. We just don't have anyone tall in the box. Oh, you've got Weghorst. Fred's taken the corner. It is dreadful. Doesn't beat the first man. That is an awful corner. Luke Shaw gets it back to David De Gea. Malacia to Shaw. Lindelof. Weghorst. Casemiro. To Bruno Fernandes. Casemiro. It's out to Rashford. Looked for the first time ball to Malacia. Well read by Dyer. And Tanganga looks to bring it out. Good defending from Rashford. Wins a throw in for United. High up. Fred. Shaw. To Lindelof. Bruno Fernandes. Why have you tried that? Give it to Martial there. Lindelof in the chase now with Oliver Skipp. De Gea gets the ball back here though. Lindelof. Harry Kane for man of the match. I'm not sure about that. Dalot finds Bruno Fernandes. Martial. Nice ball into Fred. Give it back to him. Give it back to him. Doesn't. Sure. Puts the ball into the box. Casemiro! Heads it over. What a chance for Casemiro at the death. It's a great ball in from Shaw. And Casemiro heads over. I think he should score. I think he should score there, Casemiro. And we go into the last minute of this game. From 2-0 up and cruising. Fraser Forster goes long. And it's 2 points dropped. Unless United can find a winner in the last minute of this game. De Gea goes into Luke Shaw. Finds Bruno Fernandes. Crossfield ball looking for Rashford. It's alive in the box. Fred, you donkey! Oh, it's deflected. Oh, I thought it deflected on Weghorst. It was off Dyer. It's corner. It's a corner. I thought it deflected on Weghorst. I was going to fume. Fred. To Shaw. Marcus Rashford. Luke Shaw. Looks to put the cross in. Gets the cross in. It's bouncing in the box. And the referee's given offside. That'll be it. That will be it. 2-0 up, and we've absolutely blown it. Embarrassing. And there's full time. What an embarrassing result in the end. 2-0 up at half time, absolutely cruising. And Spurs have come back to draw 2-2. Top 4, look, we will still get top 4. I have no doubt about that. But you look at the league table. Newcastle now be 2 points above us with a game. We've got a game in hand. But for United, that's embarrassing. The Spurs, they'll go back to 5th. I don't know what to say. But look, we'll go over to the match reaction and we'll talk about it a bit more. We'll do play ratings and stuff. It's a disappointing collapse, to say the very least. But it is what it is. Manchester United 2, Tottenham Hotspur 0. No, Tottenham Hotspur 2, Man United 2. I'll see you over in the match reaction in a bit. Peace.